Take away these thoughts, help me think clearer. I know you are the only one that can help. Take away these thoughts, make me feel again. See the light again. You are my saving grace. You feel this space with your warm embrace. Take away these thoughts, make me feel again. See the light again. You are my saving grace. You feel this space. Take away these thoughts, make me feel again. See the light again. You are my saving grace. You feel this space.
What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It has a wonderful day. And yeah, so we're pretty much gonna get it here. It's been a minute, right? It's been a long week since we got back on here, but we're ready live in action with you guys. And hopefully I do sound my normal because I didn't bring my mic. So it's just regular audio, and you guys kind of know how I am with all the extra stuff, but no need. I'm glad that you guys can, I'm pretty sure I can see the people connected here. Yeah. So you guys are still good. But besides that, we are in California, actually in the middle of nowhere, kind of. And it's a small town called Modesto, and it's pretty interesting, but I will say it has a big impactful community out here. And if you're not from Modesto, then I suggest you to see if it's local, or if you are, then really get connected to the community out here, just because I know like many of times when we're like looking at these charts, it's more of an online lonely game, but what you truly need is that community that can really help you out in the aspect of getting you connected, right? Helping with your system. And I think that's where the biggest thing is going to happen is how can we get better with our system? How can we develop what it is that we need to really level up when it comes down to the markets, to anything that's to do with trading here specifically. So, I mean, let's just kind of go straight into it. I have not looked at the markets like that. Like as in Forex Factory. I have been on the road, right? Well, technically flying. I'm not really on the road, but I have been like away from screen. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, preparation is key, and that's the reason why I like to start kind of like at that before New York open, just to really just walk down and see what exactly is happening and what's going on in the back end. Because I mean, on today's Tuesday, right? And pretty much we do have dollar news. We will have CAD news, and as well more dollar. And I don't know. I think this is more Central Time. I still have it on. I think, yeah. I would have to. No, it's Los Angeles right here. So pretty much, yeah, we do have news right over here for 7:30 a.m. Then 1 o'clock with them 4 o'clock as well. I mean, tomorrow we'll have CAD news and also dollar. So that'll be very, very interesting to see tomorrow. But let's actually filter this in, right? I really want to kind of get down and filter what we are going to really be paying attention to. And as you can see here for Tuesday, I mean, there's not much of red folders, but nor am I saying that there's something going to happen today. We're going to look straight into the charts first. But it's just something that you could just kind of like pay attention to and see before anything. As well, too, we all have CAD news, so look at some currencies if you guys also watch currencies, with also following along with Thursday, which would be euro news with dollar as well. So very, very interesting, actually. But let's actually see what we got going on. Starting off at that daily time frame. One thing we'll work our way down into the time frames just because, I mean, the markets change, guys, right? And this is where you have to really, really be able to read the direction. I know this is something that's going to help me and it's going to probably help you a long time. That's going to help you for a very, very long time. Even if, right, I think this is the biggest thing that really helped me, but even if we are trying to look for those scalping movements, the biggest thing you still want to know is that key component of having one up on on your opponent. Of course, for us, we're very, very tiny when it comes down to the market. Okay? I mean, we're like little bugs inside the market. And that right there should allow you and for you to put yourself in a position is how can I still one up the market, right? One up meaning how can I really just prepare myself and be skilled enough to be able to still read what it is that they're thinking, potentially wanting to do in the future, which is why those daily time frames, it's like that one up, even if you're like a scalper or maybe like an intraday, like for 1 hour for any setups itself, right? But here for MYM, right, if you are trading, more so of the other current like Forex pairs and stuff, I mean, you could use like US 30, but directly we're going to go with MYM here specifically. And this is where I pretty much want to start reading the markets here, like in detail when it comes down to, MYM. And as you guys can see, we've been in a very, very interesting bullish movement to the upside, right? Slightly on a daily. Now you see some type of little shift, but overall, like this is just very bullish, right? We're very bullish on the market, and that's something that I'm just going to be looking at if it comes down to daily, that I'm still bullish on this. Now, here, when it comes down to now drop into a 4 hour time frame, we're starting to see something very interesting. Very interesting to say, at least to say that in this area where we have when we were in the 50,000s, you guys can really see that we did have a slight institutional push, right? That cleared all this liquidity out inside the zone. Inside the zone here specifically is what we see when the market pretty much swept all this out before the reversal to the continuation. Over time, the market was playing around this area, building up money, and even when it built up money, it looks like it was actually intriguing buyers to actually come into the zone. But after this here, swept this liquidity out before a nice big fat pump. Now, at this pump here, we do see here on a 1 hour time frame, market was kind of playing with itself, saying like, hey, like, we have all this liquidity slowly working its way up higher, also build more internal liquidity, swept up higher. On a 1 hour time frame, I can see this as mitigation because price did reverse back before it did mitigate into the zone and just dropped down very aggressively and did not stop until we came back into this mitigation zone on a 1 to 4 hour time frame where it gave us a nice pump. And with this pump, right, at this point, I would assume if anybody even consider any type of like buying opportunity here, this pump here, this movement that we see was the institutional push before the market actually reversed back to the downside here. Market pumps one last time again, reverses back again, playing inside the same zone, potentially clearing you out of your stop loss, maybe even so, you know, just not a fun thing to be in, but a very, very protective capital. And then market pushes up one last time. And this is where yesterday was the time that it was kind of like pretty late at night. Open up my phone, trading view, markups went very quick. And seeing certain areas that was potentially marked up here, it all comes down to narrating the market because we did have some type of a selling opportunity inside the zone. And we do see the market react to it, right? Even if, right, because this happened actually at 1 in the morning, even if this is something to be considered of to take, biggest key point was to correlate with the indices with NAS and XPX, or in other words, MQ or MES. This here, on those other pairs, they definitely were a little bit more bullish. So this is something that just happened overnight. There was no pending order. Actually, I don't have any pending orders for indices just like that. It's more like an execution for me personally. As you can see, the market just did obliterate it, continue to the upside, and just being very choppy, right? Like, this is where you have to start reading carefully inside the market before New York open. But it's just very choppy that happened. And actually, here, which is MYM, you have all this money that is being stacked up in the prices of the 50,000s. And this is where you can get really picky with what is that we're reading, right? Because one thing I don't, and actually, let me go here. One thing I really don't like that doesn't sit very right with me is this. I'm just not liking that there's all this money here, this liquidity. I mean, even if you look at this liquidity here, you can see that like it's just orders being built up, and then price jumps, pumps up, orders pumping again. Same exact area, same motion, same thought process. It's like if this does come down here, then I can see these areas gain attack, which here it's more of a perspective look like, wow, this is a point of interest here. Now, if we drop down to a 5 minute time frame, right? I I would say one thing, I can see potentially people wanting to get into this here, where we do have this slight pump to the downside, very slowly but choppy. And I have seen setups that look very similar to this, but these aren't, again, personally for me, these aren't really my cup of tea type of setups. I like to see something very key visual, like something's very, very simple and easy. And just because I do see this imbalance here, I mean, could we get the market to react back down here into a continuation? Maybe. But what I don't like is this. Because if I enter this entry point, right, put my stop loss in the mitigation end zone, I've just added more liquidity to the zone here, what I'm seeing. And it's it could work, but this is just something that I'm just not liking from that perspective. Like I guess better yet to say is there's more preferable setups. There's more better ideal setups that we could find when it comes down to these markets. So let's just check out MQ. MQ, well, on a 4 hour time frame, let's look at this. MQ right over here, we do have market that's actually building up this liquidity here too. That it's not the most, but we do see the market come into this price range of the 28,000, react and just flying. And actually, really paying attention to this, like here, very interesting how MQ looked like here. This looks very, very similar to a chart that I remember that a very, very experienced trader slash educator had talked about. This looks very similar. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. I'm trying to find it real quick. I wouldn't say much. It gave me like 2020 COVID vibes, but it gives me this vibes here. Like, you have all this liquidity being built up. And then just an aggressive drop, right? History repeats. Look at this. All this liquidity, and then just a nasty aggressive drop and a reversal. On this daily time frame, I mean, you could be on any time frame, everything's still the same no matter what. Very aggressive, choppy look, and just drops, and now it's reversing back. Now, I will say I'm still bullish on this just because, like, just based on market structure, that never changes. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So on a daily, it's like I'm gonna still continue to look for buys. I mean, let's drop down to 1 hour time frame. Do we get the same thing, same approach? I mean, here, Nas is actually a little bit more cleaner when it comes down to these markets here. And actually, as you can see here, dropping to that 15-minute time frame, we do have areas where now we're seeing, price giving us this overall consolidation area. Nothing too crazy, but we do have this liquidity built up, and then you also have this area here too that builds it up as well before this nice push to the downside that we do have here on a 15-minute time frame. Let's see here. I do have this area where it's more of a interest where if this is some sort of buy that we can kind of work our way in here, then we do have exits here, right? Exits of potentially the market wanting to come into this area here. Drops very aggressively to the downside. Price trades back up. Rejection. Trades again one last time. Price revisits, mitigates, continues back to the upside is here. Trading very slowly. Pumps up again. But looking at this now, could this revisit? I mean, from a standpoint, right? And this is me like really, really thinking, okay? I'm really, really picky with these. From a standpoint here, the one thing that I would say that when it comes down to this area here, the question is, did this already mitigate, but just on a smaller time frame? And you have to be able to read that. When to tell if a setup is it's just not it no more. So that's where you can go down on that time frame and really figure out. We had that pump to the downside. Choppiness still working its way up higher. But the market came back one last time and revisited in this area. Price flies one last time, and I mean, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but let's go on a 3-minute time frame if needed. You can see it here where price slowly pushes, reverses the imbalance, price trades back in slowly here, trades inside this imbalance before the continuation to the upside. Interesting. Interesting in the way to say, like, is there really opportunity here? I mean, pump, price closes in balance, reverses, change of character. Hmm. Only thing left is this order block or this trap candle. But even with that being said, could this just get ran through? Because with order blocks or trap candles, I call them trap candles. But these trap candles, there's two ways that you can use them. Use them as entries or exits. So if with it being an exit, right, that is something I would consider. I mean, we kind of broke it down on how we just saw this, that it looked from what it reads, looks like it's mitigated in a smaller time frame. It looks ideal. It could be ideal, but this is where with my entry module, it's very, very consistent, like in the aspect of it has to have certain things for it to be qualified. Because on this confirmation checklist, right, we're in that number 8 for the entry, Fibonacci, right? I mean, we can use that, but actually we can't because we're at a very active candle. I mean, you can measure it, but the thing is, what if this is at the higher point? It does make it between the 786 and 886. It's outside the mitigation zone, so that's definitely not an ideal entry. It has to be inside the mitigation zone for me. Exit, I mean, it'd be ideal if the market, let's just say, works its way down here. I would rather look into a selling position if that happened, but I think this is something that if it does work, then okay, maybe people are going to be trading off the trap candle, and that's just your entry module. So that's like, idea number one. Or idea number two, of course, if it becomes an exit, that's because I see this area as a mitigated area just on a smaller time frame, which that kind of disqualifies it for me. Two, the order block blocks is outside the mitigation zone that I'm marking up here. I mean, there's more disqualifications than actual qualifications. And so I would be okay if you get in this. I mean, I'm not saying it's the worst setup in the world, but just based off of my personal rules, I'm just not, I can't get into that. This here, I've seen people get into this because of their certain system. So, I mean, you can qualify it, you can see it for yourself and see what you think. But this is something that just disqualifies my own setup that you can potentially look into. Now, still reading this because I'm gonna go on a smaller time frame now. We're just trading very aggressive to the upside. And what I'm curious to know, right? If we drop down a 5-minute time frame, I want to actually see something like this. What's going on inside these areas? Very interesting to see that MQ, look how clean other setups can be versus the one we just looked at. I mean, look at this. You have liquidity buildup before the institutional candle that drops down very aggressively. The imbalance reverses back up, trades above, maintains, and now we're here. And this is actually way more cleaner than we saw earlier. This is where we can start looking for an ideal setup. Let's see if we can find something here. 1 minute time frame. Let's see here. So we do have the institutional candle that actually started from here. And actually, I'm going to zoom in for you guys as well so you can read what I'm looking at. But the institutional candle begins there, trades very aggressively, sweeping all this liquidity out before the reversal back up once again, trades below here, and then continues to the upside. Now, actually, let me drop down to the 30-second time frame. Okay, look at this clean setup here. You have this nice sweep of liquidity, institutional push, the imbalance to the upside, price trades in below here, reverses back up to the upside. I could see this as a trade setup that mitigated, but I do see that they're potentially, let me drop down to the 15-second time frame. I do see that potentially now we do have one last revisit for a re-entry inside a smaller time frame. Of course, for me, I'm still going to consider my stop loss entirely for this mitigation zone, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. But now we see that there is mitigation here. Like there's not mitigation, sorry, but an imbalance. Very interesting to see this imbalance still left behind. This is what I like to see when it comes down to my entries, because then I can see potentially reasons why the market would want to enter inside this area. Now, with that being said, I would not mind this entry point for MQ. Mitigated, I'm not sorry, mitigation, Fibonacci. Fibonacci at the low point, high point, we snack right exactly at 786. Interesting. Okay. And then, right, give me a second. Where was the last previous support level? Nice. Very close entries. And then we're just on it. We're just on it. You have that right there, an imbalance. Also, a candle with no wick. This is where I think this is a really, really preferable setup versus what we saw earlier. This is a good 25 pip stop loss. And if this is something that we could continue getting into and maybe continue trading above, then here, right, we can exit out this imbalance, or even so we can actually continue up here to capture that. So we would have TP1 right there. Or actually, take that back. It's TP2. I don't know what I'm thinking. And go for a nice 1 to 3. So 1 to 3 right there for TP1. TP2, what I'm reading is like technical exits right now. That's what I'm looking for as a technical exit. You have this imbalance, entirely this entire imbalance here. Right? So yeah, TP1, TP2. Just nice entries that you can have. Other than that, like I don't, let's see here. Yeah, everything else is not really, I mean, you do have a potential buying zone here, but I mean, let's see. If you want to get super precise, it would actually be this entry here. So it's like this sweep. Right now I was on a 15-second time frame. I mean, this is like a small time frame. Cool. So New York open already. It's 8:30 or Texas time. So Texas time. Let me get my second. Actually, let's look at MES. Looks like it mitigated this area. You can pretty much see it clearly. Definitely came into the zone. So sweep, imbalance, very quick reaction set here and takes off. I believe we have opportunity still. Let's see here. Compare all three at the same time. Let's see what's going on here. MQ. MIM, MQ, yeah. It's the chart. Actually, let me just do this instead. So MQ is actually flying above. With them now we're seeing MQ come very aggressively. Look at this. Coming very aggressively. Good morning, good morning. Let's see, TP1. MQ is actually coming. It's very, I'm not gonna say tanking. We're in a 5-minute time frame, you know? But MQ is it's dropping it. We're seeing it. What's going on with the MYM? MYM is just flying, right? You have this definitely just trading very much high and aggressive. Same thing with MES. So it looks like MES and MQ are very correlated, and um, or no. I got confused with the ticker, sorry. So MYM and MES for sure are definitely correlating. I could see that because look at this. MYM just trading above, flying. MES following long. But then NQ, it's just like, nope. See ya. I'm not gonna, I'm liking that. I'm liking the fact that these other pairs are just going very high to the sky, just doing their own thing. Definitely what gives me a lot of confidence and more buildup of trust of our setup is the fact that there's this big wick. And big wicks, guys, those are liquidities. So if this continues up higher, then this would like to follow along and continue up higher. Then I could see NQ reversing one more time before it continues pushing up higher. Maybe it's just prepping itself. But look at that little melt with NQ. Interesting. Let me actually, TP2 would be this here. Make fix this. TP2. TP3 would be this entire area if this really holds itself. More like a swing for many people if you are not trading prop firms. You're more trading more of a live account. Then you're more than welcome to hold that. But interesting area for NQ. Because if not, then I mean, of course, then there's this much more lower entry, but don't have to be down there. This would be down here if it does, but that's only if this is a nice attempt to go for. Another story like another day. Don't tell me that this is the same exact thing that happens. Let's see what's going on. So we do have this, again, sweep. This is more of an internal sweep. So internal liquidity. Price reacts. Actually, I'm going to 15-minute time frame. Well, I mean, push to the downside. Price trades very slowly. And there's imbalances, yeah. It's reacting pretty aggressively too. Let's see here. For the set that we have, that's pretty aggressive, right? I know maybe like on a, like, of course, like daily time frame, it's like, nah. But, let's see, 15-second time frame. A very interesting small setup. That would be pretty cool to see. Actually, that was at 7, so we would not been able to see that. Wait, 7. I mean, what? Sorry, I'm still on Texas time. So this is really much flying here. I'm gonna check what's up with the other pairs. I mean, this is really much not wanting to come into our zone. Just wanting to fly up. pretty cool to see that in a 10-second time frame, you still get the exact type of setups here. Build up, the institutional push to the upside, the imbalance to the downside, change of character, price mitigation here, drops down very aggressively, right? Very interesting. Yeah, there's not, I'm not a fan of any self. Like I'm not gonna be here like, oh, okay, cool, it's messy in my setup. Let's look for cells. Like, nah. Because even with that being said, like, I mean, then that just takes away with like, the way we started this call. Like, it's bullish. Like, we're very bullish on that. I mean, let's see here. And then this is just sitting some money up here. You can get away with something like this, but on that smaller time frame. But even with that being said, like the setup would have been here, ideal setup. If you wanted to have confidence, peace of mind, would have been this. This is really, really clean. Now we're seeing market actually give us some type of rejection there. Yeah, here. This is just gonna fly. Like it's pretty all in my eyes, I've seen setups like this myself multiple times. I like the fact that this is sitting here for that reason. I like that a lot. Because again, whoosh, it just flies. And look at NQ just playing around this area. What gives more conviction that this is all building up money here too. I mean, it's just like it's kind of context. Like right now I'm pretty stuck with my thought process behind this. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, let's see MQ. Now we're having MQ give us a reaction, right? We're tracing below here. MES, right? Still following along with MYM. Like this is like, and I do want to speak behind this context behind the overall big wicks. Big wicks, you have to understand how they're being created, right? How they're being created. How is it overall like structured? I mean, this here, guys, this happens because you have all these sellers that just pump the market to the downside, right? Very aggressive pump. Stop losses are above here. And I mean, look at that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the market's trying to come back into this area to attack them. Mm, 45 seconds. Yeah, we're still having this be created. Let's see. Don't get me wrong, now that I'm looking at this, let's see. Computer froze. Give me a second. Give me a second. Computer froze here. Let's see. Leave site. Mm, let's see here. Okay, should be back. Yeah, welcome back. I know. Okay, cool. So, back what I was saying. Right over here. So MES is flying. MQ, same thing. Yeah, looks like with MQ, we're just, yeah, it's leaving without us. 15-second. Yeah, with this, the way how it's looking like, I think this would be it for it. Yep, that's it. I mean, let's revisit what we just have here. I mean, yeah, we had this nice sweep. I'm trying to see, like, what did I miss? I mean, this would have had to been a 45-second time frame for you to even look at this, which we have access to smaller time frames, but I mean, at the same time, you can't go back and forth of like you saying like, oh, like, okay, I'm gonna go for a sell, I'm gonna go for a buy. Yes, the market will print out more evidence and information for you to change your decision. But I mean, I was pretty much really like in this bottom area for sure. But now we're just flying above. Yeah. Yeah. Would have been a nice entry too. This missed us by how many? Let's say. Yeah. Entire right over here. MES line. MYM. Following long. I mean, there's something might change more later, like for sure. But I could see how this right here definitely played out. Sweep, push to the upside, marker reverses back down lower, buys up very aggressively here. So that's an area that I see that this is why this here definitely wanted to play out. But overall, good idea for direction, I would say. Definitely a good idea for direction. I'm not upset or anything. It's more of like a cool. At least the way how we were narrating the market isn't on our side, and we were reading it carefully with how the market pretty much was given interpretation. How I was really just kind of getting down to what we're seeing. I mean, look at this MES flying. I mean, this is why I was just more focused on buying opportunity guys and looking these as exits. I mean, look at that, just flying, flying as well. Like, yeah. If this survives, I mean, it survives. I just think like behind this, myself about 2 years ago would have been like, okay, nice sweep, institutional drop. I would have thought this already mitigated just by reading the reaction, how aggressive this market was. Pretty aggressive here, I would say. So no selling for me. Oh, wow, look at MES. Bruh, imagine getting into this setup here. That wowzers. This was 4 in the morning. Definitely asleep. That a banger right there. NQ, same thing. Like you just had that entry, push to the upside. I just had more. This is just more cleaner here. Like this lower entry, I like that a lot. Look at that flying. I really am just here in this session to see if this gets cleared out. So I just build more evidence into my cases. So that way when I see it, I'm just like, okay, I remember this. In the meantime, let's do this. Train journal. Mm-mm-mm. June. Let's go today's date, June 9th. Like today's focus is really more MYM. I mean, sorry, MQ. Mitigation, direction, we're looking for buys. I mean, I was prepared, and that's why I started the session pretty early. Patient, focus, confident, I would say too. Relaxed, neutral. Pretty much all the greens. This is where I'm going to use my AI whisper flow real quick. Because if you didn't know, I don't really type anymore like that. I use AI. It's no, it's not scary. It's just more useful. I think if you don't use AI in your favor, I mean, what are you doing? Genuinely. Especially for this part here, because like everybody knows like you can type your life away, but like today, this and that. So that's one thing for me. It's like because I know like I don't like to type as much like that anymore, that's gonna steer me away from not wanting to journal, which again, it's just me. But I'm like, okay, cool. What can I do to make it easier for me to actually journal? Um, I just speak to my camera. I speak to my computer. This morning we were analyzing the markets and we figured that NQ actually had more of a cleaner setup. And by narrating all of the indices, we've concluded that YM and MES were very bullish and very much no clear signs of any other directional opportunity other than just looking for buys, but no buys presented. Look at that. Boom. Easy. This morning we analyzed the markets and we figured out that the NQ actually had more cleaner setup. By narrating all the indices, we concluded that YM and MES are very bullish, with no clear signs of any other directional opportunity than other than just looking for buys, but no buys presented. Psh, come on now. Stop playing. It's on the tip of the edge right there. I'm really here for the vibes, honestly. I'm really here just to build up more like evidence on this. I just need to see. Gosh, bro, that would have been so nice. That would have been so nice. I'm just looking and see, okay, how could we have bettered this? But I mean, there's nothing else you can do here other than I mean, even on 30-second. When you go on 30-second, looks so choppy, but I can see how, but not the best ideal on. And I have to be okay with that. I will sell as like okay, let's look for a setup, but it's all good. Come back here. A quality, I believe it's 5. I mean, we were very picky. Entry missed. We didn't win anything, nor did we make anything for risk to reward. Reflecting back to this market, pretty proud of the fact that we were disciplined enough to not fall into any traps of FOMO, but really be able to narrate the key components that was going on with NQ versus YM and MES. With that, it ended off with us missing the entry, but at least it wasn't more of a break of plan because we're seeing that the market is, it kind of gave us what we were looking for, but just with the misentry. And the market is actually doing exactly what we anticipated because the market repeats itself. You see, that would have been too much to type right there. A bee is not going to type all that, right? But I will say this has made my journaling a lot more easier. So now a trading plan, I mean discipline before. Let me actually put the after first. And then here is this. Right there. Like you can see that's pretty like come. It's very nice to see this play out like that. And this can change. I mean, in the next hour or so, we might get more information. But as of right now, I mean, if it comes back here, I mean, let's see. If it comes back here, let me read this because that's another thing I talk about. It's like, do you get into entries that already played out? Let me zoom out real quick. Let me just zoom out. So on the left side, we see the market actually coming here, fill this in, right? Fill this candle. Uh, let's see here. Hmm. I mean, this has opportunity for it because we're talking about a setup here where it's either leaving liquidity and people are holding this. And if you're holding this, then your stop loss becomes liquidity. I still like it. I mean, I'll get into it, but I would want to see the exit, how we work our way in here. What's this? 3-minute time frame. Actually. Hold up. If this survive, that'd be really, that'd be crazy. Not in a bad way, but that'd be crazy insane. This survives. This has an opportunity for it to actually play out right here, guys. Right here. For NQ. For continuations. Right over here. I like this whole entire thing. Institutional push. The entire zone right there. If we wanted to get really precise with the entry module now. Actually, right there. It's clear signs of liquidity. Institutional push to the downside. The imbalance. Price not coming back lower. But one thing, now that I'm thinking about this, I don't like the fact that this just traded very above very fast too. But, I mean, it's not the worst ideal setup either. Right there. Yeah. This would be a nice 1 to 3 right there. 1 to 3. Waiting for that entry right there. 1 to 3 for risk to reward, or you can go for that 1 to 2 right there as well too. Um, interesting play. If you want to tighten your stop loss, you could come into this area here, tighten that up. But I'll be okay with giving some room to breathe. Only thing too that I'm reading is the fact that we just flew very aggressively and now we're coming very aggressive downwards. It's very interesting to me. We're on a 2-minute time frame, so very fast at this. I mean, so you can really go for that basic right there. Okay. Mm, let's see if this actually holds. I'm gonna keep my stop loss a little bit more lower for this to trade to breathe because I really determined this off of a 5 minute setup just because of this whole institutional push that we see. This is more of a detail aspect for an entry module, but I'm really liking that. 1 to 3 to be more conservative for risk to reward. We'll see, we'll see. But I'm paying attention to this right now because, like, again, it falls back to, like, how aggressive this was and then just an insane reversal to the downside. But, I mean, we held up for how long? 6 minutes. Let's see here, 1 minute time frame. Mm, let's look at MYM. This might serve. Look at that. What is the 1 minute? Look at that. I think it's luring people in for this sell. But that'd be history. MQ right there. Kind of holding its, but I mean, we'll see, we'll see. If not, then that overall lower entry was what the one. That's already 7. It's crazy. That's what happens when you yap too much, right? And you just talk and talk. So I got hit out right there. So then now let's see where that goes. What I'm about to put in my journal for that one is the fact I should have listened to the conviction I had for it. Meaning, not meaning. Let me explain this. I was like, ugh, it was only up for 6 minutes. And I had to like see if that was enough time for the market right there. But I'm okay with the fact of this loss. But now, 15-minute time frame, that's a big fat wick. Yeah, it's a fat wick right there. Mm, yeah, that was a big wick right there. Here, let me put this in here. Give me a second. Mm, 5 minute. Copy. I actually have to add this in here too. So NQ, mitigation, long. Still prepared, patient, focused, neutral. And so this is what I'm gonna put here. With NQ on a 5 minute time frame, I saw a clear opportunity for a re-entry for a continuation to the upside, which is why I qualified this trade here. And so here I'm going to copy that. Oh, wait. Crap, I didn't get it. Here I saw opportunity for NQ on a 5 minute time frame that was building up a re-entry to the continuation. I did read off the fact that it was very fast, where it did trade above high, but then it was a very aggressive return back to the downside, which potentially should have been an indication. Here it's still 5 for me, regardless. I lost this one, right? Line 5 right here. I lost 1 R. Looking back now, using key evidence like the market not holding up the area of structure, in this case, only literally held up for 6 minutes. I mean, this is just more of a key evidence to kind of hold up because I've seen other setups where, I mean, it would be 15 seconds, and what's the difference from 15 seconds to 5 minutes or 6 minutes? But reading the context, I can see on a 15-minute time frame, it was more of a very fast, large wick. If I would have zoomed out, then that would have been maybe an indicator that can help me determine yes or no. But I was only stuck on a 5 minute, which is why I was confident enough to say, okay, cool, let's take it. But in this case scenario, potentially zooming out on that 15-minute time frame could have really helped us out in that. But yeah. So you see how that I would never type all that, guys. This is more of like conversational type of thing. So let me type this up here. Da, 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 da. I mean, shout out to MYM. That did it. It's really doing it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, okay, cool. Let me finish journaling this real quick. Yeah, 15-minute time frame. That makes more sense on this here. Mm. But that is something that I do kind of hold in right there, guys. It's like, how can you make a decision based off of that then? Because let's be real. I mean, I've traded on the 30, 15 seconds. And I mean, you can ask yourself, okay, well, you're in a 15-second time frame. How long do you need a setup to hold up? Maybe 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minutes. Which I get it, it's more of it. And I'm kind of hearing myself out now that I think about it. More of like a 1 to 2 minutes. It's pretty long enough for a 15-second time frame, which on a 5 minute time frame compared to 6 minutes being held up above, it's not much of a hold up, if that makes sense. So now that I say that out loud, I'm just kind of like, okay, cool. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see here. Uh, yeah, this is like not the ideal. Here, let me do this real quick and then run it off here. Cause yes, ora. Let's see. Let me not take a picture, but let me actually do this. More of it looks like that. Let me take a picture of that. Copy. This is still not played out. I mean, regardless. Let's see here. We're still holding up. Mm, 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 mm. For the entire year, so far, how much are we up right now? Let's look at the percentage real quick. We're doing really good, guys. We're doing really good. We're doing really good. Don't look at the smaller time frame. Right now we are still up because I gotta add the loss for today. We're still up 11.75% for the year. We're still good, guys. So don't look at today as a loss. It's more of a just add-on. Keep that in mind. We're still up 11%. That's pretty phenomenal. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, this could give us a, yeah, this is probably gonna give us a area. Do I still have that? This isn't a redemption play, okay? It's not. It's more of if the setup is there, the setup is there. That's what I've learned from mentors. Setup's there, setup's there. And if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. Mm-mm. What I really like about this, it's like it depends. Two ways that this can go. Two outcomes. Now let me look at it. Market does this, trades above, and let's just say it plays down here for quite some time. Then this was probably building up a setup for a sell. I'll see that? Interesting, right? But this is like not very good. I still have it for the day, so. Yeah, so it looks like MYM is luring sellers. It's, look at this. So you have liquidity being built up. Okay. Just kind of building up my case on these big wicks. That's why. June right here. What? Cool. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna keep this open tabs. I mean, we're getting pretty close to it. I wouldn't mind just kind of seeing just full of vibes, right? Low vibes are key. And you can go for 886 right there. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. I'm gonna attempt this too. Okay, we're in. That's pretty fast. See how this holds up? I mean, what's going on with let's see. This might be another little loss here. Don't want to claim that, but it's just melting. Let's see here. I'm still in, yeah, that's it. Boom. Cool. Copy here. It's one of those days for me. For me. Yeah, it's one of those days for me. Cool. Well, context behind this one is just didn't play out for me. I don't see what else I could have done better. I mean, that's it. Like it's not market's just going lower. And we have MYM still holding in there. There's nothing I would have done. I would have changed here, which is why I'm pretty solid with it. I'm kind of like trying right now. I'm just reading. I'm taking what I'm seeing, and I'm trying to see like, what did I miss? I'm like, what did I miss here? But no, I just there's nothing I would have changed here. This is it. So at the end of the day, this is still like the ideal setup. Two losses. This is an internal joke. Bro, I got demolished to like what, less than 15 minutes. Yeah. But no, it's I mean, there's nothing I would have done better. Like this is it. And now it's turned into not miss, but well, hmm. Well, wait, give me a minute. Give me a second. No. I was about to say, like, maybe it was like, what if it was like a misentry and this mitigated, but no, this mitigated this area, this zone here, not the zone that I was looking at. I would have done nothing different. I mean, it's that's what I have. Yep. Yeah. I don't even see gold right there. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, well, other than that, let's get it, guys. I mean, yeah, it's been a good Tuesday. Just to start off for a Tuesday. 1% ain't bad at all. It's just 1% for the day. It would have been 1% on one setup or 1% on split half risk. So look at the bigger time frame perspective. This is an interesting case study for me right here for this area. So I'm gonna revisit this back later down the future. But besides that, guys, ya me pasé el tiempo, 14 minutes above. I had a blast, like always, and pretty fun with this. Besides that, hopefully, I'll have an amazing day. The learning lesson today is stay true to your setup. I mean, I'm not mad or sad about anything I chose. I mean, this is just what I had. I'm really trying to analyze my mistake I made, but there's literally no mistake I made here based off of this entry point. I mean, this is just a very volatile market. Actually, now I think about it. Let me see. No, this is literally what I have. Yeah. Liquidity. I'm not gonna. No, no, that's not my setup right there. Yeah. Right now, my thought process, I'm not getting to any trades, guys. I'm just looking at the market right now. See what I'm looking to see what I'm reading here. I mean, this area going aiming for that imbalance and it's crazy to see this intense drop. Let's see, actually, intense. No, I would have missed it. Mm-mm. This right here, liquidity. Cool. That's an interesting wick. Nice. Okay. Well, as I, yeah, have a good day. I was just reading this right here.